So, as we were saying, the Commission stated that the royalties paid to the United Kingdom company would have been zero. The first reason, as we said, were that the royalties didn't have any value for the Dutch company. And the second reason that the Commission used were that applying a comparable and controlled method, a comparable controlled price method, they said that the comparable agreements didn't provide any royalties. The Commission uses 10 other agreements that the Starbucks Group had settled with third parties, and all of these agreements didn't provide actually any royalties. In order to find these 10 agreements, the Commission uses the comparability analysis, and the comparability analysis using the well-known 5 comparability factors that we had analyzed before. So the characteristic of the properties, the functions performed by the parties, the contractual terms, the economic circumstances of the parties, and the business strategies. By the way, according to the General Court, the European Commission failed in the application of the factors. This is for some reasons. The first one, some contracts, some agreements were excluded from the comparison because they were subsequent to the APA, and the Commission cannot use information that weren't available at the moment of the conclusion of the APA. But the most important reason that the other contracts aren't comparable, at least according to the General Court, is because the independent companies actually performed different activities. First of all, they didn't sold the coffee, the roasted coffee, to other companies, but they were mere subcontractor that the Starbucks Group engaged, and after that engaged in the roasting activity. In this condition, as we said earlier, the roasting intellectual property was only a technical specification and didn't have any value for the subcontractor, and for this reason the subcontractor shouldn't, actually as they did, shouldn't pay any royalty to Alki or to any other Starbucks company. And for this reason, the General Court stated that the Commission didn't demonstrate that applying the cap method, the royalties should have been equal to zero, and for this reason, the comparability analysis and the method applied by the Commission was not reliable and consistent with the arm's length principle. Lastly, the Commission said that the royalties should have been lower as a residual allegation, but maybe this allegation was the only one that could be accepted by the General Court, but the Commission only said that this allegation was quite apodictic. They didn't demonstrate why they should be lower, and they only said that the variability of the royalties was actually a proof of the fact that the royalties weren't linked to the value of the roasting intellectual property. The variability means that the the royalties were different each year because they were, as we said, the difference between the total operative margin of the company, the total profits before royalties, minus the profit that they determined applying the transaction net margin method. So the royalties actually weren't linked to the value. And in this context, the General Court said that the method to calculate royalties was for sure unusual, and no one of the parties actually could provide a convincing explanation of that, because this method was actually a strange one. But the Commission didn't demonstrate that this unusual and inconsistent method would have provided selective advantage. And the biggest, maybe the biggest mistake of the Commission was to not demonstrate, to not provide a specific range of values for the royalties. They just said that they should have been lower, and this is one of the main reasons why the General Court said that the decision was not legitimate. Lastly, the decision of the Commission actually disregarded the prices of the green coffee beans too. They said that the green coffee beans should have been, the prices of the green coffee beans should have been lower because they were not consistent with the market price. But the contracts for the purchasing of coffee beans weren't actually a part of the APA, weren't outside the scope of the measure and the agreement concluded between SMBV and the Netherlands tax authorities. And for this reason, actually, the Commission didn't have any power to adjust the transfer prices of this transaction. And they cannot, even if they were not, they weren't consistent with the arm's length, they were not able to recover the taxes that the company didn't pay in the Netherlands. Because the Commission said that the higher price paid had led to a shifting of profits from the Netherlands to Switzerland. By the way, this part of the transaction weren't part of the APA, so the Commission could not adjust them. And this is the reason why the General Court disregarded this part of the decision. Lastly, the Commission said that the transaction net margin method wasn't applied in compliance with the arm's length principle. This because of some reasons actually, but the main one was that first of all, Starbucks Manufacturing Company was a reseller and distributor, and this was its principal activity. And for this reason, as we said, the appropriate profit indicator should have been the resale and not the operating cost. And choosing this profit indicator would have led to an increase, a significant increase in the tax base in Holland. As we said, they prove the demonstration of the difference of the fact that the principal activity was not the roasting activity, but the resale activity, is that between 2008 and 2014, the Dutch company tripled the sales and actually doubled the gross margin. But in the same period, the Dutch company had an increase of the operating cost of only the 6%. So all these new profits and new margin were considered actually royalties to Alki and not in the profits of taxing the Netherlands. By the way, however, the General Court stated that even if the Commission didn't do a mistake in saying that the resale activity was the main one, the Commission failed to demonstrate that a profit indicator based on the profit, the operating cost, would have led to couldn't have led to an arm's length outcome. This is because the analysis of the Commission cannot prove with a requisite with the requisite legal standard that the choice of one indicator instead of the other would have led to outcome that was not would have been not consistent with the arm's length principle, and this was enough to annul the decision of the Commission for the General Court. And by the way, the General Court actually, the Commission actually said that the Commission did a different comparability analysis in order to disapply the transactional net margin method, but as the ones that we analyzed in order to the royalties, the General Court said that the comparability analysis was incorrect, the comparables weren't right, and because of more or less the same reasons that we have already said. And for this reason, the Commission could not demonstrate that the comparability analysis of the APA was state aid. And the last allegation was that the adjustment, as we said, in the application of transactional net margin method, the Commission, the Starbucks Group eliminated some costs from the basis of the calculation of the profits, such as some relevant costs, such as the expenses deriving from the purchasing of green coffee beans. And according to the Commission, these adjustments weren't consistent with the arm's length and weren't justified. By the way, the General Court, as in the previous allegation, said that the Commission failed to prove that these adjustments weren't consistent with the arm's length and had led to a selective advantage for the Dutch company. So, and this was the last allegation. So, in conclusion, for sure, the transfer pricing, the advanced transfer price agreement that the Netherlands authorities and the Starbucks Group had concluded in 2008 were not consistent with the arm's length because of the reason that we said, but because of the failure of the Commission to prove the selective advantage, the General Court annulled this decision and annulled this decision. Actually, we don't know if in the future the Commission will appeal this judgment, but for the moment the Starbucks Group won, and they do not need to repay the taxes that they didn't pay to the Netherlands for the moment. So for this part is all. It's enough, and we finished now.
Okay, thank you, Paolo, for this very, very interesting lesson and very difficult, I think, but you you are very able to simplify this very difficult argument.
Yes, I think that I have to say thank you very much to Paolo, because transfer pricing is and properly that part and that presentation is rich of technicism on tax, so very difficult lesson. But I think that Paolo gave a very correct overview and also specific overview
Yes,
in
yes,
the case.
This the framework
of the,
and the
general
case,
framework,
yes.
all the framework, the general part, but also the specific part, so general and special
Yes.
part. And thank you, Paolo, because your lesson is very, very difficult and you explain it very, very well.
Yes, we hope
Thank you.
next year will come in Trento to have to hold the lesson in presence with our students.
That probably
for
makes
sure.
a lot of questions
Yes.
on the topic.
I hope so.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
We see hope in few times. Bye, Paolo.
Yes.
Thank
Bye.
you.
You're welcome.